So yeah, the BatSlap. So we're going to talk about the Town Hall 11 BatSlap today. I mean, really, it's just flooding the base with witches and flanking with the bats. That's basically the BatSlap. What's going on, guys? My name is Joe, and today we're going to take a look at the Town Hall 11 BatSlap technique. And we're not looking at super awesome league-style bases. We're looking at bases that you'll see in the Clan War Leagues. This was a random spin. We're over here in Elite Academy, and we have two different variants today. We have one variant that has golems in the composition. The main army is the 11 witches, and then a massive group of bat spells. So it's like we got 10 bat spells here. And it's not necessarily that it's an easy technique, or, I mean, it looks like an easy technique, but it's not really easy. It's just the bases give it away. And as we look at this base here, we got a classic island style base. You have 3 wizard towers down on the south side. You got 1 wizard tower up in the north, and then the Inferno towers are set to single target mode. So that's really what gives this base away. So obviously we're going to start down here in the south side and go through the core of this base, taking out the eagle and saving that back half up in the north for the bats, and really just kind of swamping the base with witches and bats. And we're going to start out down there with a baby dragon over there on the western side. You'll notice that there is golems in this composition. I will say that again. And the golems are not going to be used at the beginning of the attack. They're going to be used on the back end of the attack. So the baby dragon's going to work. We're going to drop our queen. We got some healers. And those healers are not necessarily meant for a queen walk. They're meant for the queen and the witches and the bowlers later on. So there's bowlers in our stone slammer. And that Stone Slammer is going to move in, take out a few defenses, and the King is on the opposite side to clear the right side of this funnel and move up towards the eastern side of the base. The Queen is in the core. You're going to see a rage spell dropped, and the witches, bowlers, and the Grand Wardens are in the core. Upon the arrival of the volleys from that Eagle Artillery, the Grand Warden's ability is going to be used to save our troops, and then a poison spell is going to be placed for the enemy troops. Now, the enemy troops are gone, and the bowlers are going to take down the Town Hall. Queen is on the single target Inferno Tower. Her ability will be used. I guess he was kind of anticipating that she was going to go down. You got to be safe there. You got to play it safe. So she will take out a defense and then move into the center portion of this base. Now we're going to start on dropping those bat spells on the far right side of the base, or down here in the southeast. And you'll notice that this wizard tower is actually distracted by the Barbarian King, and that's why this wizard tower is going to be going down quickly by the bats. You will also notice up in the north side that there is a golem up there. So the golem is dropped to distract the defenses up in the north side to possibly keep that queen alive, is what was trying to be done there. Bats are going to take down those point defenses, move up into that expo, and then you're going to see another golem drop. So let's go ahead and get in here and take a look at what's happening. So that wizard tower is zoned in on the bats, and it will get a shot off, and then it's going to retarget and go on that golem. And so all of our defenses are distracted by this golem. The bats are going to take down the archer tower, the cannon, and then move into that distracted wizard tower. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. I love it. So the bats are going to travel across the base and go into an expo and that final archer tower, and that is a wash. This attack is done. This base is smoked. We got a little bit of bats left over to take over and do some cleanup over there on the far western side. We got some witches and skeletons on the eastern side, and looks like we have witches and a golem up in the north. The golem doesn't really count for anything, but the witches and the skellies are going to get this job done. So we're going to hold off for a second and let you see this army, and then we're going to take a look at the next army, which is different than this one. Stepping back and taking a look at number 10, we're going to take a look at this base that is supposed to be an anti-2 design with the Town Hall in the core, but unfortunately they moved it down to the southern corner. So you got a little bit of a wannabe anti-3-star base, ring style though, so it's old school. The army has changed. We have 9 giants this time around. We got 11 witches, and then you have 11 bowlers. And so we made some slots with the bat spells. You got 7 bat spells this time around and 4 free spells. So as we look at this base, the main indicator for this strategy would be the single target Inferno towers, and then the wizard towers are spread out around the south side, and then you got 2 in the core. And so that ice golem in the composition, he's used really cool. I'll show you in a second. So we're going to start out up in the northwestern side of the base, and we're going to get the witches in the core with the wall wrecker, and the bats are going to flank from the west. So we're going to start out with some giants, and we're going to flood this area with troops and take on these point defenses. So you got witches spread out, you got bowlers spread out, and then you're going to see that wall wrecker dropped, and it's going to follow it up with some more giants, and then the king, and then the queen, and then the Grand Warden. Now that Grand Grand Warden is set to air mode. I'm not really sure if that was intentional or not. Probably not, but it doesn't matter. So that wall wrecker is going to open up the center compartment and move into a single target Inferno tower. And so we're going to use the Grand Warden's ability here in a moment to preserve the life of that wall wrecker and our troops as they go into the clan castle troops. There's going to be a rage spell drop there for the enemy clan castle to take that on. And we got an E-drag. And then I want to direct your attention down here to the south. We have an ice golem dropped. And so that ice golem is going to sit on a wall and distract the defenses while the queen is taking on the enemy king. And then you're also going to see the bat spells drop back behind that queen. So the queen is going to take on the king, and this ice golem is going to die and freeze that wizard tower. And I believe our attacker thought that the freeze effect was going to wear off before, so he did drop a freeze spell there just in case on that wizard tower that did go down. And you will notice that we have bats moving into a single target Inferno tower, and we have bats moving across the south side of the space, taking on a couple of hidden Teslas and a cannon. And then you're going to see the freeze spell used on the next wizard tower, and the bats are going to move through, take out a couple of defenses, another freeze spell to freeze that wizard tower. So that's key, freezing those wizard towers. And that was the final wizard tower, so we're going to freeze that final Inferno tower and allow the bats to take it down. And you will notice that the queen is down there by the town hall. She's going to be caught up for a moment before ever stepping into that hidden Tesla. And it doesn't matter. The bats are going to come down and take out that hidden Tesla. So queen's ability is going to be swagged. And the bats are going to finish up with cleanup. We got a few witches and some skeletons. It looks like we got a P.E.K.K.A that came out of that wall wrecker, and just an absolutely beautiful attack. So again, when it comes to this strategy, you got to pay attention to the key indicators. The Inferno tower is set to single target. That would be a big major indicator to use either bats or witches or both. It doesn't really matter. And then you will also look for the wizard towers and make sure that you can take those down. But if you enjoy these new meta style attacks, make sure you click that video over there. That's going to be the P.E.K.K.A bat. That's another very popular one right now. And that is going to wrap us up for today, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me and taking a little bit of time out of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.